Maybe I kind of want to sit this down somewhere. Let me see if I can sit this. I'm going to sit this down. Ooh, I'm going to put it on the back. Oh, that might be a good spot right there. No, I want it in front of me. Move the camera directly in front of me while I sit here. There we go. Today's video, as I sit here grounded, my feet on the earth, doing my usual thing, I want to explain how the cold is synonymous with the concept of hell, and how hot, the heat, is synonymous with the concept of heaven. I'm gonna put this on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure my microphone is working great, so everybody can hear me. I'm heard. This is being broadcast, right? When somebody gives you the cold shoulder, hell. When someone's being cold-hearted, hell. From March the 21st, outside of the tropics, from March the 21st to September the 21st, you get UVB sunlight. Okay. From September the 22nd to March the 20th, you don't. Okay. During that time, your cells and your mind go through a death-like stage. When your cells are moving and active and hot, they expand. Your cells expand and move rapidly, keeping you disease-free, stress-free, pain-free, all of that. It eliminates all your blockages, whatever it is. Whatever it is. In the cold, however, your cells begin to freeze up, close up, and stop moving as much. You ever notice how once autumn hits and the wintertime hits, people aren't outside as much? That motivation to move isn't there. Okay? That motivation to move around and act and be active isn't there. What your body is 75% water. 75%. So when you get in a cold environment, especially if it's below freezing, what do you think is happening to your body and your cells? They're freezing and closing up and cold, and you're going through this death-like cold phase. This is why some of us consider being outside of the tropics hell. Disease and cold go hand in hand. You get what I'm saying? Of course you do. Disease and cold go hand in hand. Let me give you a few examples. Let me cite a few examples. Number one, wintertime comes, people start sneezing, they start getting colds. The immune system has to work harder. So now you got mucus and all kinds of stuff coming out of your body, etc., etc., because your body's trying to work real hard to cleanse itself, to be at homeostasis, to be balanced at all times. In the cold, it's hard for your body to stay balanced and be in its flow state because your cells closing up. When you're in the hospital, what temperature is it? Cold. Isn't that where all the disease people are? In the cold hospital? The cold hospital? If you were in jail, what temperature is it? Cold. People upset. People frustrated. If you're in court, What temperature is it? Cold. People frustrated. Sick. Look at the people in there. Sick. You don't see healthy people in these places. You know how many fat nurses and fat doctors there are, yo? And people getting advice from them, people out of shape, unhealthy, giving people medicine, which is causing their body to become even colder, and the cells, excuse me, and the blood flow slowing. It causes the blood cells to slow down, titanium dioxide, all this other stuff. Cold. See, after September, once September the 22nd hits outside of the tropics, your body starts to slow down, lose its speed. And when you objectively look at your life in the cold, you'll notice the vitality of the plants drops. You see? The vitality of the plants, your mind, your surroundings, your environment drops, and all the leaves fall off. That's your mind. That's your environment. That's your experience. Cold is death-like, so to speak. And if you've been outside of the tropics your whole life, you've been experiencing that for a long time. A long time. You see? Objectivity and subjectivity is an interesting concept. Objectively, I am my environment. Meaning wherever I am, I'm looking at myself and I'm observing myself. Diseases and viruses and parasites and things like that, they always have the ability to come in. However, you are the person that has the ability to keep your body in a certain state, certain alkaline, oxygen-based state, to where disease cannot exist within you. That means if you're around people, if your body's healthy and you're around people who are unhealthy, mentally, physically, unhealthy, they're not going to be able to be around you. Objectively, they're not going to be able to be around you and be comfortable. Because the disease and the viruses, notice, dis-ease, they can't handle the healthy environments. See, if you're in the cold, disease loves that. Disease loves the cold. It can stay where it's at. It doesn't have to move. I want to say that typically where there's like some kind of darkness, there's like mold and mildew and fungus, things like that, and dark stuff where it's colder. You see? I'm in an environment that's hot, humid. People are like, man, I love my life. It's heaven. It's paradise. I'm healthy. I'm happy. There's fruits everywhere. They're growing. There's plants that are green all the time. I don't have to be concerned. And you know what? Even here, being in this frequency, the tropical frequency, sometimes the plants do drop leaves. Matter of fact, many times the plants will drop leaves. And what they do is they get rid of the old growth. The plants get rid of what's no longer serving them. You see? All the brown leaves and the wilted leaves, the plants and the trees will just drop them off, grow brand new green leaves. It doesn't get all the way to the bark. They just regenerate. But they get rid of the stuff that's holding them back to keep the healthy stuff going. To keep the healthy foliage. Your body does the same stuff. Whatever's not serving your body, it gets rid of it. Dead skin, old hair, hair follicle, whatever. Your body's always doing what it can to get rid of the old stuff and regenerate itself. And it does it the most efficient way when it's hot in a tropical climate, in a tropical environment. You see, it's easy for me to be me. Of course, it's hard for somebody else to be me, but it's easy for me to be me because I practice my craft, and practice makes perfect. The perfect part of practice is the practice. Think about that. The perfect part of practice is the practice. Not the end result, it's the process of practicing. Side note, I want to say this. I used to tell people that when it comes to coming here, or should I say being around me, the door's always open. However, now I'm at a state to where if a person does not have something to offer me, then the door is not necessarily open for them. Because I would be a host to a parasite. I'm at this state now that I'm vibrating on a frequency of symbiotic relationships. I help you, you help me. We're not obligated to help each other. We do it because it feels like it's the right thing to do. It's virtuous. Hey, oh, you know you're helping me? Cool, I'm going to help you too. It may be times where I might not be in a position to help you, but when I am, I got you. It might be times where you're not in a position to help me, but when you can, you got me. That's symbiosis. I'm in a symbiotic relationship with my entire environment. All of this. All of this. See, all of this. Everything that I'm experiencing, I'm a symbiote. A symbiote. Sim meaning with. Bio, you get it. If I recall correctly, bio means natural, organic. I'd have to pull that one back. I had to do a little bit more research to refresh my memory on that. Either way, you see, it's not. It's a lot more difficult to be a symbiote to a cold climate. A climate in which things are typically going to sleep or dying. You know? You can help the death. You can help the sickness. Or you can be the immunity. One of the two. There is no middle ground for that. You're either gonna be sick or you're gonna be healthy. However, I guarantee you, and anybody watching this, anybody on the planet Earth, or whatever we want to call this place, you're not going to be healthy in the cold climates. In a sense, it's oxymoronic or contradictory. Because health, good health, and cold don't mix. That's logic. I could say it's common sense, however, one would have to observe the pattern long enough. Or should I say, it had to be a given, so to speak. It had to be a given to be like, all right, this is common sense, yo. This is common sense. But it takes a little bit of thought. When we observe the pattern of cold, sickness is right there, directly in it, directly next to it, working with it. Sickness is the symbiote of cold. When somebody gets sick, check this out. When somebody gets sick and they go to the doctor's going to be like, hey, drink plenty of fluids to hydrate yourself. Drink plenty of fluids so you can stay more hydrated. The purpose of hydration is to add more oxygen to your cells. It's very difficult to stay hydrated in cold climates. You know why? Because like I said earlier, your body's 75% water. So if you're taking in a lot of water when you're in the cold environment, you're going to be real cold. So you have to make your body more dense. In the cold, your body and your cells is more dense. You're a liquid-based being. We can say gas-based being too if you want to. We want to talk about oxygen. We can say gas-based. Carbon-based if you want to. But in order for your liquid to be liquid, it gotta be hot. Duh. You know, in order for your body to be mostly liquid, it gotta be hot, 98.6 degrees. Hot. That's how you be healthy and stay healthy. You see? Or as they say in Espanol, ¿viste? You see? You need the tropical environments. It's the best for your psychological health. Psychological health is first, and then physical health. Your physical health is, I'm going to use True's word, contingent upon your psychological health. The better you are, the healthier you are psychologically, the healthier your body is going to be. You see? So while you're in the cold, you're going to be doing a different variety of patterns than you would be doing in the hot. The times when if you're outside of the tropics, if you're experiencing 4 seasons, 4 of them, you got the spring, the summer, the autumn, and the winter. The summer is your most liveliest point. That's when you're expressing the most energy. That's when everybody children go somewhere else for the summer, summer camp. You're going to the beach, you're doing all that stuff in the summertime. That stuff usually isn't happening in the spring. Being in the tropics is permanent summer, the liveliest point of your experience in life. Permanent summer, permanent hot and heat, to keep yourself healthy. When you're seeing overweight people, like let's say you come to the tropics and you see people who are overweight, they do a lot of things, such as not grounding themselves or eating a lot of meat and dairy. They do a lot of things to keep themselves in that state. There's certain patterns that they're engaging in to keep them in that state, which is causing them to be sick and unhealthy. So those people are a lot more stressed than the ones who are eating mostly fruit and herbs and going to the beach and dancing and partying and having a good time. Their psychology is totally different. You hear me back there? You see, you as a being, especially if you call yourself God, I'm God, you God, everything's God. It's all nature, it's all energy, it's all the same. In different forms, different pieces, different perceptions, different angles, different angels, however you want to look at it. If you God, which you are, you have to understand how your cells, all this electricity, all this is electrical, electromagnetic spectrum, colors, electromagnetic, I'm going to say it again, colors, electromagnetic spectrum. The light spectrum, electromagnetic. This is all different forms of light. It's all light. Why did I just say that? Your body and your mind is sending you electrical signals and impulses to communicate with you. Through humans, through animals, through plants, through experiences, situations. That's what your body's doing and your mind is doing specifically. Your brain. Your brain is in here and right here. It's all your brain. Your eyeballs and what's inside. This is the part that connects the inside to the outside. Your eyes. Electricity. All these photons, electric photons, light photons, are hitting your eyeballs. And your brain is perceiving them. And giving you signals so you can communicate with yourself. See, being in the cold is almost synonymous with torture when one becomes aware of what cold is. If you're studying, what's the word? I would like to say biology. Let's say biology. If you're studying biology, then you would know that cells that aren't moving are colder. There's not much activity and they're dense. But when the cells are hotter, they're expanding and bouncing off each other. They're just rapidly moving, energetic. It's not up for debate or discussion, it's facts. It's objective. It was called a Facebook love stream. But everything that I'm saying is coming from love. Last night I had a really unique experience. And I was with my homeboy Mark, brother Mark, and he was saying something about people being jewel thieves. And when he said the concept, I understood what he meant because he was talking about casting pearls to swine. We're all familiar with that phrase, casting pearls to swine, meaning you give knowledge to somebody, give wisdom to somebody, and they don't apply it to their life, but they want to keep hearing knowledge and they want to keep getting lit up with all this information and be an information whore. But they're not applying it to their lives. That's called being a jewel thief. You're casting your pearls to swine. You see? I'm at the point to where I'm not gonna like keep force feeding or feeding others that aren't feeding me. Symbiosis only. Symbiosis only. I've been the host before. I've hosted people. I've been the host before. I've even been the parasite before, unintentionally. However, once I understood that my life is a life of service to humanity, I realized that I can't be a parasite. Me understanding that my life is a life of service to humanity forces me, influences me, and motivates me to be a symbiote, to work with and not against myself. When I say myself, I'm not only talking about this one, I'm talking about all the other humans, all the other animals, all the other plants, all the other insects, all the fungus, all the eubacteria, prokaryotic cells, everything. I'm the symbiote working with. Helping everything grow. Be clean, be pure. Symbiote. Notice I'm using this word often. Symbiote. If you've ever seen the movie Venom, Venom, who was in, I apologize, I'm not aware of the character's name in the comic book / movie. But one day, or at some point, the guy that had venom in him, or somebody else called Venom a parasite, and Venom was offended. Venom was like, parasite? He said, no, I'm a symbiote. I'm helping you, I'm working with you. And that's exactly what Venom was doing. Anytime somebody tried to attack the guy that had venom in him, Venom protected him. The symbiote protected the thing that it was working with. I remember one day I was watching a live from Light Body Tribe, and Chiefess Aya said, you ever see a tribe together that ends up breaking apart? The reason why, and I'm paraphrasing, the reason why these tribes break apart is because the part of the tribe was working against itself. If you're working against yourself, like a disease does, like a virus does, it works against the body, of course it's not going to work out. But when you're working with yourself, when you're in unison, cohesion, if that's the correct word, usually if these random words pop up, it's on point. Cohesion, adhesion, one of the two. If you're working with yourself, of course you're going to grow. Of course everything's going to work out. Of course everything's going to be successful. The insect kingdom shows me, objectively, it shows me Hey, when I'm working in groups, we get a lot of stuff done. Ants work together. They might have this really big bug that's dead that they need to carry back to the ant mound. So they say that all the ants get together and they pick up the bug together and walk the bug, the dead insect, the carcass of the insect, all the way to the ant mound because they work together. Symbiosis. They're not working against themselves. You're not seeing ants fight each other. You're not seeing termites fight each other. You're not seeing bees fight each other. They're all collecting pollen, bringing it back to the hive. You see, in order for your cells to work with themselves, they have to be in a hot, tropical, moist environment. Because that's what's influencing them and allowing them to be able to have the freedom of movement. There's more space. In the colder environment, it's harder to work together. There's not as much motivation to move. The cells are cold. They're inactive. They're inactive. It's a great build, by the way. Note to self, this is fucking great. So, as I've been saying, if you watching this, which I know you are, I love myself, I love you, love us, then you understand the importance of being in the tropics and you take it seriously. You're not playing around. You're not joking around. You take your life seriously. You take your health seriously. You take your mentality seriously. You take your psychological health seriously. You're not playing around with it. Just having fun. Because truth be told, if you're having fun with this wisdom and this information and this knowledge, and you're not taking it seriously, oh, I'll just go whenever I feel like it. I just go whenever. When you get here, it's going to be harder for you to maintain the frequency. It's going to be harder for you to fit in and adapt. It's going to be harder. It's called a transition. You ever listen to some, if you're out there, if you're a producer, and you make beats or something like myself, or if you're rapping, there's transitions in the songs. If you're a dancer, like an organized dancer, choreography in a group, there's transitions during the routine. And the smoother the transitions are, the better the routine looks. So if you are outside of the tropics, you should already be getting used to these patterns. You should already be getting used to these routines so that by the time you get here, it's easy to adapt. It's a more smooth and fluid transition. You see, I was wise enough to make sure that I practiced and perfected everything that I needed to do when I was in the States before I came here. I practiced for 4 years before I got here. 4 years. Gardening and planting and speaking a certain way and treating people a certain way and being virtuous. I had to practice for years before I actually got here. And when I got here, everything was smooth. Everything's been smooth. It's been easy. It's been simple because I practiced first. I was a person when I was in school who hated homework. I hated doing the practice. I would do great on the test, but I hated the practice stuff. I would have got way better grades in school if I would have did my homework. My homework grade was the worst thing about my grades. I would have been an all-A student if I did homework. I didn't want to practice back then. However, as I matured in life, I realized the importance of practicing. The key or the gateway to perfection. Practice. The gateway to perfection. Practice. The gateway to perfection. Mars in Capricorn, 6th house, Virgo house. Mars in Capricorn, hard worker. 6th house, detail-oriented, hard worker. I ain't playing around, yo. It's real. My Jupiter in Pisces. That means I'm talented. And I focus my energy on uplifting humanity as a whole. I'm just running the program, yo. If you've ever seen the movie Wreck-It Ralph, The characters in Wreck-It Ralph knew that they were in a game. They knew that they were in a program. And they knew their program. And they knew exactly what they were supposed to do, no matter who played the game. They were just like, yep, we got to do this because we're in the game. So you can either get unplugged from the game, or they just turn the game off, and then once it starts back up, everybody starts playing again. You see? They knew. Once you realize what you in, and understand this is kind of like a game, kind of sort of like a game. Some call it a simulation. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson said, when it comes to the simulation theory, it's hard for me to disagree with it. It's hard for me to debunk it. It's hard. It's kind of hard. So you're actually in this world, in this realm, to be the healthiest and happiest version of yourself. That requires teamwork. That requires hard work. That requires effort. It requires focus. Sometimes discipline. Discipline involves physical punishment and physical pain. It involves a lot. It's about you either going to take your life seriously or you're going to keep playing around in babyland, aka Babylon. Babyland. Lawn is land. Babby is baby. That's literally what it means. Babyland. So you're going to stay in babyland or you're going to grow the fuck up. Straight like that. You're going to stay in babyland or you're going to grow the fuck up and become emotionally, intellectually, and psychologically mature. Like everybody else around here. Everybody else on the frequency. Everybody else in the environment. Mature. Observant. Helpful. Being a good neighbor. Supportive. Having a symbiotic relationship and working well with others. Do you remember in school? Especially when you were in like grade school, you know, first, second, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, and they would do an evaluation on you, give it to your mom and dad, your parents, and they have certain aspects of your personality, and some people have works well with others. Be like the grade will be like A, B, C, D, E, F, or A, S, and F, or E and S. Say excellent and superior and all that other stuff. You got to be to the point to where you're able to work well with others. And you're not working against yourself, working against others. You see? Your cells need this type of environment so it can work with itself. The support is already here. The abundance is already here. The love is already here. The nurturing energy is already here. You got to be able to work with yourself. Of course, you got an immune system, and in order for your immune system to know what it is and to do what it does, it has to be able to encounter dis-ease. It doesn't know its own strength. It doesn't know what it can fight off until it encounters certain diseases. And once it encounters that disease, then it learns how to fight it off. This is actually the reason or the purpose behind shots, so to speak. The way the shots work, if I recall correctly, is that whatever the disease is in the shot. It's in the shot. You're actually giving yourself the disease. If you get a flu vaccine, you're giving yourself the flu, and then your body learns how to fight it off, if I recall correctly. Either way, you don't even need a fucking flu shot. You just need to be having a healthy body. As long as you got a healthy immune system, disease cannot exist. What did Dr. Sebi say? Disease cannot exist in an alkaline environment, quote unquote. Disease cannot exist in an alkaline environment. Shout out to Tazan the Vegan, by the way. Alkaline cook. Disease can't exist. When you're saying alkaline, you're saying oxygenated, hydrated, green, you know, alkaline, electric, alkaline battery, electric, alkaline battery, electric, alkaline battery, electric. You see? When you're looking at your environment and it's cold and it's concrete everywhere, just concrete, no green, no trees, anything like this. This is a good mixture. This is a good balance. Where I'm at, of concrete, let's see if we can see through there, of concrete and green. If I go stand on my roof, all the buildings are concrete. If I go stand on my roof, it's concrete and green everywhere. Tall trees everywhere. Mountains in the background. Everywhere where I stand at, 360 view, mountains, green mountains. What disease? We got this thing called aesthetics. Aesthetics. AESTHE. How do you spell that shit? Aesthetics, yo, aesthetics. But we got this thing called aesthetics. And when you start seeing things that are beautiful, seeing things that are colorful, it psychologically makes you feel better. It makes a person feel better just to see it. Because when you're seeing it, you're feeling it as well. It's light energy. You see it, you feel it. You see it, you're feeling it. See that? You're seeing it and you're feeling it. You see my flowers back there? You're seeing it and you're feeling it. Photons, electric. In the cold? Nuh-uh. Not happening. It's not happening. So you got to be in the warmer environment, Show. You got to be in the warm climate. If you choose to be healthy, if you got some kind of sickness like diabetes or herpes or autoimmune disease or lupus or any of these diseases, those diseases cannot spread when your body and your immune system is healthy, when it's properly functioning. When you connect it to the earth. See that? When you connect it to the earth right here and you got yourself plugged in, those diseases cannot exist. You're working with yourself and not against yourself. Wonderfully articulated, God. Wonderfully articulated. I came here knowing that I was going to lose weight, knowing that I was going to be healthier. I came here with expectations because I had already been practicing my craft. I had already been practicing. I had already been studying and researching. I came here, lost 50 pounds. Look at my arm, yo. I've never seen my arm. This is the first time I've ever seen my arms be this muscular and vascular. And I don't even have to eat that much, yo. I don't even look at this shit. I don't even have to fucking eat that much. I'm not sitting lifting weights every day in the gym. Nope. I love cardio. I used to do push-ups often, pull-ups often. I don't have to. I would do it to maintain my strength and because I wanted bigger muscles at the time. So what I did is I just made sure to focus on that part of my body. I get in the mirror, get naked, see what I need to work on or what I want to work on, and I just do it. And it's easy for me to be motivated because it's hot. As soon as I step outside, I'm sweating. It could be 7 a.m., 8 a.m. in the rising. I'm going to be sweating because it's hot. Unless there's an overcast of clouds. And even then, it's going to be hot and I'm going to be sweating. My immune system is immediately activated. Immune system. If you out there sick, it's because you got a weakened immune system. So you have to be in hot environments to strengthen your immune system. Guess what? Late spring and all of summer, that's when your immune system is the strongest. I wonder why. That's when people get sick the least. I wonder why. Sarcasm. That's when they get sick the least, yo. That's when you get sick the least. Because your immune system is at its strongest point. And if your immune system healthy, you're not in a state of physical or mental dis-ease. If your environment is reflecting the quality of your immune system, you're not going to be in a state of physical disease and mental disease. You're not. You could be a person who's really healthy inside, right? Inside, but in an unhealthy environment on the outside. Of course, you're going to be exposing yourself to dis-ease. And eventually, you're going to fall into it. Because you're continuing your exposure to it. COVID kept everybody separated. And it kind of, when I look at it, it was good and it was not good. I can't just look at COVID and say that it's all negative. If anybody who's wise enough to know that regardless of if there was a COVID or not, if your immune system healthy, COVID don't matter. You can come in contact with it, it'll come in you, and then it's got to leave. Depending on the state that you're in, depending on what you've been feeding yourself. So yeah, you're going to come in contact with it. But is it going to be able to stay? Or is it going to feel uncomfortable and it's going to leave? You see? You know why I'm still here after a year and 9 months? Because I'm not the fucking disease. That's why. I'm the immunity. Look at me. Think about what I do. Think about what I'm showing. I'm the immunity. That's why I'm able to be here and maintain this. Notice I said, maintain this. I've come in contact with a lot of different diseases and stuff. But they can't stay because they're going to be uncomfortable. So they end up leaving. I don't have to force them out. They leave on their own. I'm the immunity. So me, I'm here attracting the immune cells. If they're immune, they're going to come. If they're not, they're going to stay where they at. It's that simple. If they want to, if a person wants to heal themselves from any kind of disease, number one, they have to realize that they are the disease. That's number one. If you got herpes, you're the fucking herpes. If you got diabetes, you're the thing that whatever you're whatever diabetes is. A cancer cell. So you have to go, okay, well, what do I do to rid myself of the disease? What do I have to do to put my body and my mind in a certain state and to feed myself? What do I have to feed myself in order to not have the disease and not be the disease? It's simple. Once you start having healthier thoughts, you're going to start making healthier moves. I'm going to say that 2 more times. Once you start having healthier thoughts, you're going to start making healthier moves. 1 more time. Once you start having healthier thoughts, you're going to make healthier moves. The reason why you got the disease that you got is because you've been making unhealthy moves from impure thoughts. The reason why you got the disease you got is because you've been making unhealthy moves because of your impure thoughts. Unhealthy thoughts makes unhealthy movements, which beget disease, which are disease as well. Immaculate conception means pure thought. And part of being in the tropics is for immaculate conception, pure thought. Pure, P-U-R-E. Pure thought. Some of us have come here to make babies, to be the immune system, to add more pure thoughts to this reality and this state of consciousness, like myself. Others could be just here for the ride, just to see what's up. You see? If you're serious about your life, of course you're going to go to the tropics. if you know what you hear and you realize how important it is, of course you're gonna be here. If you look at it just as a vacation, you're just gonna. It's like if I'm in a fucking nuclear power plant, if I'm in a place that there was a nuclear fucking spill, of course I'm gonna be sick when I'm in that place. Okay. So I go, okay, I gotta get rid of this disease from this nuclear spill. I gotta go somewhere else. If you're gonna go, well, you know what? I'm in this nuclear disease right now, but let me take a vacation real quick for about 2-3 months, maybe 4 months, maybe even a month, maybe even a weekend, and then go back to my diseased ass, sick ass environment. At a certain point, you got to look at yourself as insane. At a certain point, you have to say, man, why the fuck am I'm torturing myself if I'm doing that. If you know what's best for yourself, you're just going to get the fuck out of there. But for most that haven't been to a tropical environment, to a tropical climate, or even lived in the South of the United States, they're not aware of the importance of it. Even I myself wasn't aware of the importance of it. But I tried. I tried to stay in my pride and my arrogance. I tried to stay in the States, and I was like, yo, these 6 months ain't gonna cut it. In December 2020, I was like, yo, this is stupid as fuck for me to stay here. This is actually fucking stupid. I feel like an idiot staying here when I know what I know. I feel stupid. I got the fuck out of there. Ever since then, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. Happiest I've ever been. Strongest I've ever been. I feel like the older I get, the more experienced I get, the healthier I get. Isn't that interesting? Of course that is. Of course that's interesting. The older I get, the healthier and stronger I get. Why? Because when you know better, you do better. You see, age isn't a death process. Age is not a death process. Age is a life process. As one gains wisdom and knowledge through experience, i.e. aging, it in a way becomes a responsibility to be healthier. When I was in the States, I was like, man, it's interesting how people get older and sicker. It's actually it's actually kind of fucking stupid that people get older and sicker. Because the older you get, of course, the more you motherfucking know. So if you know more, how the fuck are you getting sicker when you're older? That doesn't make sense. You see? ¿Viste? When you get older, you know better. When you know better, you do better. So you should be healthier and older. Not unhealthier and older. Healthier and older. If you listening to this message, this broadcast, and you over the age of, let's say about 25. I think that's a great age right there. A great spot. If you're older than the age of 25 and you hearing this, your health should be going up. It should be skyrocketing. And you should be the example. You should be the living example. The living example for the youth. I'm not saying don't drink, don't smoke, don't eat meat, don't eat dairy. I'm not saying all of that. That's not the point of this message. The point is, as you age and as you grow in wisdom and know more, you should be doing better. Your psychological health and mental health and physical health should be going up. It should be progressing instead of regressing. I do not think age is a regression. Age is a progression. It's balance. Age is a progression of experience, a progression of wisdom. Yeah, that cold also prevents a person from thinking clearly. The less oxygen you got in your body and your cells, the less you can think. The more dehydrated you are, the harder it is to think. And in the wintertime, of course, you're not going to be as hydrated. Of course you're not. You're not. You're not even going to have the same cravings for water that you would in the summertime or when it's hot. You're not. You need the new water to flush out the old water. You're drinking fresh water and get rid of the old water. See, in with the new, out with the old. In with the new, out with the old. That's what your body's doing. The more you put in your body, the more your body's like, man, get this shit out of me. Get it out of me. All right, I used what I needed to use, now get it out of me. I'm going to take a shit. I'm going to piss. I'm going to drop my pot. I'm going to put soil on the ground or soil in the toilet. Wherever you want to put it. That cold environment. Man, that cold environment really does a doozy on the mind. Being cold, being around people that's cold and cold-hearted, it put that mind through a whole lot of stuff called stress. As soon as you hit the cold environment, stress comes. Disease comes. Dis-ease. Your body's at ease when its environment outside is similar. There's a similar temperature. Your body processes room temperature water faster than it does cold water. If you drink room temperature water, you can drink a lot more than that in a day than you could cold water. However, psychologically, we think, all right, well, if I'm hot, I should be drinking cold water. Well, sounds good. Sounds good. However, the truth is, you're going to drink way more water. Okay. You're going to drink way more water when it's room temperature. Your body has to heat up the water, which puts it under stress. The cold water actually puts your body under stress when you're hot. If you drink too much cold water, what happens? Brain freeze, or you can't drink as much. But if you're drinking room temperature water, you can just gulp it down fast. Because your body doesn't have to use the process of heating it up. The body's like, man, let me get this water and match the temperature of my body. Let me get this water and match it's got to match the temperature so I can use it. You're not digesting ice cubes, cuz. You're not digesting ice cubes. You like crushed ice? Cool. Your body gonna heat it up so it can use it. You see? It's simple. It's biology. It's science. It's facts. It's wisdom. Take your life seriously. Take your health seriously. Especially if you call yourself quote unquote black person, melanated, what the fuck ever. How you actually appreciating your skin if you're not in the sunlight? How you appreciating your health if you're not grounding yourself? How are you showing yourself that you appreciating it? Being in hotter climates is showing your body and yourself that you appreciate this thing, this device, this organic computer. If you say, well, God gave me this body, nature gave me this body, energy gave me this body, and I'm just using it. Okay, cool. When you got this body, you got the opportunity to make it as strong as ever. So if at any point in time you have to give this body back, that shit gonna be powered the fuck up. It's gonna be strong. Like, man, you gave me my body back. The body that I loaned you, you gave it back to me in a way better condition than I had. Imagine if you needed to cut your grass and your neighbor borrowed your lawnmower and your lawnmower was kind of old. But your neighbor decided he was going to put some new parts on it, some shiny new parts on it and fill the gas up and oil it up And by the time you got your lawnmower back, it's cleaner. It's cleaner than it was when you gave it to your neighbor. How you gonna feel? You gonna be like, man, hey man, I appreciate it, man. I ain't know this ain't okay, cool. Cool. Dang, you done cleaned up my lawnmower. Look at my blade. My blade's all shiny and clean. There's not a lot of grass under there. Wow, man, I really appreciate it. That's the experience you having. You got to be able to conceptualize your life a certain way to where you value yourself. You know your own worth and you value yourself higher than you used to in the past. You value your psychology and your health higher than you used to in the past. Because you're wiser now. You're a lot wiser now. You know more now. Direct message. Great build. And of course, objectively, you're looking in the mirror. So those of you, those reflections of myself, images of myself, some taller, some shorter, some fatter, some skinnier, some darker, some lighter. Those of you that are actually doing this are going to listen to this message and be like, yeah, yeah, I'm doing exactly what the fuck I'm supposed to do. And those of you that aren't are going to be like, man, maybe I need to do better. Maybe I need to do better. Those of you that are ingrates and unappreciative are going to be like, man, fuck that nigga. Man, he don't know what he's talking about, blah, 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 blah. Actually, y'all not going to do that anyway because real recognize real. And what I'm saying is real as fuck. Real. Authentic. Organic. Straight from the source. I've been deciding if I want to go to the beach today, yo. I could go to the beach right now. Connect myself with all the other energy out there. I know it's going to be people having fun, maybe cooking out on the grill, drinking, smoking, getting high, laughing, children playing. Gotta love that. You know, gotta love it. Or I could go to the rainforest, go get in the river. There's going to be people out there doing the same thing. Playing music loud, having a good time, enjoying all the big giant foliage and trees and everything. Jumping off rocks into the water, having a good old time. Because your immune system is like, yeah, this is it. This is it, my immune system. This journey in life, your immune system. It's about your immune system, yo, the health message, so to speak. And it starts psychologically. Your health starts psychologically. And then materializes itself physically. I lost weight because the way that I think changed. My perception changed. It adapted. It mutated. I transitioned from one form of thinking to another form of thinking. However, I had to practice first. And that's what got me to where I'm at. I started thinking differently. I remember when I used to walk and my back would hurt just from being a fat ass. 288 pounds. And all I had to do was walk around and my back would hurt. Torturing myself. Knowing that I needed to eat better. Knowing that I needed to exercise. However, you got this thing called cold. You got certain jobs that keep you disconnected from the earth. That's what I had. That's what I was facing. And I overcame it. I stopped watching TV. I stopped listening to the radio. I would only listen to like underground music. I would only be on YouTube and different forms of social media that wasn't talking about all the negative stuff and the drama. I had to make and adjust my environment in a way that was conducive to the way that I think, the healthiest way that I think. And in the cold, ain't no fighting it, cuz. In the cold, your whole environment stressed out and in a state of disease. The whole thing. And every building you go in that's cold, dis-ease, it comes with it. The stress come with it. It's a package deal. So when you in these hot environments, the ease come with it. It come with it, yo. Sons, this journey, I'm grateful and thankful to myself. I'm grateful, thankful, and honored to myself for embarking on this journey, this lifelong journey of being my greatest version. And keep in mind, being your greatest version, me being my greatest version, isn't only about physical health, i.e. eating fruits and herbs. It's also about virtuosity and profundity, looking deep within things as opposed to being a surface dweller or superficial. And having virtuosity, having a high standard of morals and conduct. I'm gonna put a lot of stuff in this video. I've been around niggas that be trying to, that go try to hook up with my girlfriend behind my back and shit. For the record, fuck all of you fuck niggas. I never want to see you again. And if I see your name in the obituary, I'm laughing. So serious. You're dishonorable. You're dishonorable. If I don't fuck with you, it's because you're dishonorable. If I don't fuck with you, it's because you don't practice what you preach and you fake. If I don't fuck with you. Anybody that knows me knows this. I don't have to yell at you. I don't have to scream at you. I don't have to fight you. I just won't fuck with your ass. Because you're the disease. You're the disease. That's why you would do things like that. That's why you would lack morality, a high sense of morality and virtue. That's why I don't fuck with y'all. The men I do hang around and I talk to, they have a higher standard of morality. The grown-ass men, they're mature. They're not playing around and shit. They're not being snakes and grimy and shit. They're not being diseases. They know how to move. I play chess. I know how to move in life. I know how to move. There's some people come here without practicing and they don't know how to move because they didn't practice. So they still do the stuff that they do when they were in the States, when they were in hell, thinking that they're going to get the same results. That's not how this works. You see, the immune cells kill the cancer cells by causing them to implode. They surround the cancer cell and kill it by causing it to implode. I'm the immune cell. Ain't no killing me, dog. If you surround me, you the cancer cell. Niggas, bitches. I'm the immune cell. That's why I'm here. And any one of you that has ever mounted up against me, you gone. Think about it. And this environment still growing without you. Excuse me, currently growing without you. Because you was the one holding it up. You was the one being the blockage. You might as well be in the cold if you're going to do that. Real simple. So if you're serious about your life, you're serious about your health, you're serious about your love and your support and your abundance and your perfection and your future, You're going to be in the tropics, and you're going to go there, and you're going to move there and be like, fuck everything else. You're going to take what's called a leap of faith. And of course, faith without works is dead. So as long as you take your leap of faith and you work with your faith, success is the only thing that follows. 2 more times. You're going to take a leap of faith, jumping into the unknown, not knowing where you're going to go, what's going to happen. And you're going to work. You're going to work with your faith. Be like, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm still going to work towards this outcome that I want to happen. I got faith that this thing is going to happen. And then your imagination works with you. Your imagination works with you. Your intentions work with you. Your desires work with you, especially if they're pure, to cause your faith or your vision to be actualized. It becomes a realization, a feelization, i.e. a miracle. And then these miracles become abundant to the point to where it doesn't even seem like they're miracles anymore. It's just regular everyday stuff. It's magic. You got to be able to make the magic happen, baby. You hear how peaceful it is? Listen. Don't sound like no stress going on around here. Boss? Ain't nobody crossing the gun line, boss. Life. Pun intended. Take your life most seriously. Take your health seriously. Be real with yourself. Be authentic. Stop being a fake ass nigga. Stop being fake. Be real. This ain't no illusion, nigga. To all of you out there saying that this is an illusion, no, it's not. This is reality. If all you see in life is the illusion, you the motherfucker that's fake. You the thing that's fake. If all you see is illusions, smoke mirrors, you're the thing that's fake. You're not being real. You don't know what it looked like because you're too stuck in the illusion. Tropical environments, where is that? I'm cold, the emperor, the king of kings, the most high, the guide, leading by example and not by words and just talking. I can do that too very well. I mean, shit, I've been talking on here for 1 hour and 8 minutes. However, I'm aware that my actions speak a lot louder than my words. A lot. They screaming. Feel it. Well, trust me, I love you. This whole message coming from absolute supreme love. Absolute. The strongest, the most passionate love. The most passionate form of gratitude. I'm grateful and thankful you even chose to listen. Because I got to put my passion in it sometimes. Because sometimes people don't want to listen when you say things calmly. When I say things calmly, they want to just brush it off. But when I start yelling and screaming and getting mad and amped up, then motherfucker want to listen. However, I do what I can to be, calm, cool, and collected, because I'm the ease. I'm the smooth, suave nigga. Gift the gab. I make great moves. I'm a great chess player. Of course I'm gonna talk my shit, because I walk it. So it would behoove you if you're not already on board, if you're not already on Noah's Ark, it would behoove you to fucking get on board. So you ain't got to be stuck in your torturous cycle. You can sit here, some of you, especially ones that have went back, left the tropics and went back to the States. You can sit there in your fake realities all you want and try to pretend like you happy. And try to put all these positive videos up and all this other fake ass shit, knowing that good and motherfucking well you're not happy. Because you're not living your purpose. You're not. You know you're not. You can sit here and be fake all you fucking want to. But you know it's gonna happen. It's been happening. You either gonna live in your reality or die in your illusion. Peace and love.